Before I hit 40, I crushed every life goal: career, dating, freedom, and pursuing my mission. And it all came down to one unfair advantage: strategic thinking. I'm Lucio Buffalmano, founder of The Power Moves, the #1 platform where smart men learn strategy and power. And in this video, I will show you exactly what strategic thinking looks like with two relevant life examples: building the life of your dreams and making a woman fall in love for you. Story 1. Dream life. My goals were ambitious: escape the 9-to-5, travel the world, date freely, buy a flat, and pursue my mission with The Power Moves, all without financial strain. This is how I did it. First, I quit my last job to travel, but I negotiated a freelance arrangement. Extra money was nice, of course, but the main goal was to stay in the loop and, psychologically crucial, remain one of the team, part of the in-group. Now, frankly, I didn't have the utmost respect for everybody there, but I was already thinking next steps. I had leverage with them because I had done great work, and this approach maximized my negotiation leverage for when I returned, so I did it anyway. It was part of my grander vision. When I came back, my goal was to negotiate a larger base salary for a lower rate mortgage. A helpful technique was add extra demands, including some I knew they will refuse, and use them as negotiation chips for the salary. The dynamic is, oh, you cannot give 1 month holiday, no home office, okay, well then you have to pay me more. And I got a 48% raise. Then I looked for a flat. It had to have 2 rooms. I will furnish both as bedrooms and rent one for income while working on the power moves. If things got dire, I could move out, live somewhere else cheaper, use both rooms for income, still work on the power moves, and still make mortgage payments. I found my perfect flat, my ideal location at a very good price. Negotiation, also strategic. I remember they made me go all the way to their office to discuss my proposal, and as soon as I sat down, they just said no. An absolute power move. Of course, as a power-aware man, I didn't appreciate being on the receiving end of that, but I focused on my goals. Remember, power isn't dominance or calling every single power move. Power is achieving your goals, and strategy always beats dominance. Place was perfect, I truly wanted it, and it was a seller's market. So my plan was 1. Seal the deal quick, but without looking desperate. I didn't want to look desperate to avoid last-minute price hikes or any funny business. 2. Appear easygoing, and this is why. I found out they were both sellers and property managers. These two different roles also have different interests. As property managers, they likely had a hidden preference for easier, even naive buyers. This may seem a detail, but I later found out it made the difference. My neighbor also wanted the flat, but she was passed over for me because she was difficult. You see, dominant isn't always best. Sometimes being agreeable and easygoing gets you in the door, especially useful when you're lower power. Then once inside, of course, you can change approach. Case in point, I later joined the coalition to remove the sellers as property managers for good reason, but let's not go there. The point is, strategic negotiation means anticipating the other party's motives, including the darker motives they cannot share or don't even consciously realize, and positioning your offer accordingly. Anyway, back to their rejection power move. To hide my eagerness, I played slightly disappointed. I asked for 1 day to mull it over, and the day after I proposed that if they added a bed to facilitate my move, I could accept, and they could pick the day to finalize the deal. My request for the bed was tactical to hide my eagerness, but it was also easy enough for them to say yes, while still being valuable for me. You know, you move in and sleep on a bed instead of a floor, it facilitates things. And for the record, the flat gained 70 or 80% in value and the mortgage stayed below inflation rate for most of the time. These were all extra perks and great to have, and I thought they were likely. However, you can never predict the market. Most important for me was that independently of how the market moved, with that piece of the financial puzzle in place, I could dedicate myself to the power moves without worries. This is why for me going from employment to entrepreneurship was never scary as somebody says. For me it was exciting. It was part of what is an empowering life progression, as it should be. To me, this is good life strategy. Look at the big picture or where you want to be. Figure the pieces that you must put in place and then work on each single piece until you get to your dream life. Example 2, the story you were all waiting for, I'm sure. This was a date with a woman that most men will kill to impress. Beautiful, perfect style and in her peak years. And with the heels, even a bit taller. So here is how strategy and power, not looks, made the difference. In the beginning, the conversation was dry. And this is where most men fail. They will try to force a connection, they will talk more, brag, or ask too many questions. From a power dynamics perspective, that's over-investing and it's a form of chasing. It signals lower value. It kills attraction. Instead, my power-aware approach was to match her verbal investment, enjoy the food assuming interest, and naturally develop comfort by being comfortable with the silences. That also signals total unneediness and masculine confidence. After dinner, I invited her for a smoothie, and now things were ripe to get deeper. Early on, I used one of my prying questions, and it was, who do you hate? Most people shy away from these darker questions, but they make connections stronger because that's exactly what she doesn't share with anybody else. I have several questions along this line, but she bit right away. Her reply was, my mother. Many men here will make the mistake of overreacting, like, oh, you hate your mom, that's crazy, oh my god. But that makes her feel judged. Or they may try to make a joke to avoid the heaviness of it all, but that breaks rapport. Either way, she clams up and connection doesn't happen. Instead, you must be interested, but unaffected, like it's nothing special. That's the unjudgmental attitude that makes her comfortable to open up. Plus, it displays value. Why? The unflappable response signals of a man who's not impressed because he's worldly. He's been there, done that, he's seen it all, he knows human nature, and nothing shocks him. With this approach, she opens up, we fully explore her history, and then it's time for humor. She'll mention Paris holiday dreams, so I quipped, well, soon enough, you will snap a picture with a Chanel bag under the Tour Eiffel, and you will text your mother, you shouldn't have left me behind, mom. It's dark humor, but it fits well with the vibe while moving towards a lighter, confident, can-do attitude. And again, it displays value. Why? Because this is the mindset of the resilient man who turns life setbacks into motivation and fuel to win and conquer. After that, I'm thinking again strategically. Now complete the transition to uplifting topics, drop something sexual if it fits without forcing it, and then move. So when she mentions guys from a certain country being nice, I joked back. Yeah, sure, they're nice, but they have a small penis though. She laughs, we laugh, and that's perfect emotional leadership. Why? Think about the arc. You went from comfort to a masculine frame, then bonded through the dark, and now you lead her back to the light. Remember, therapists linger in darkness. Seducers lead back into light and sexual tension. Notice how that joke also displays sexual confidence, and it links that topic to you. So you know she probably wonders, those guys are tinier, but how about him? Yeah, I'll show you, baby. When it was time for the bill, the waiter said they couldn't take card because they closed the card machine. Now, if I had been on my own, I would have said okay and paid cash just to save time. Instead, again, I thought strategically and I saw an opportunity to display some extra positive dominance. I was a regular at that place, always paid card, and so it was on them to warn me. So I insisted. It didn't work right away, they had to come back a few times. It was just slightly tense. She was feeling it, she offered to pay, a good sign by the way, but I said, no, it's okay dear, they can fix it. The attitude, the frame is, it's all under control, baby. You don't have to worry about anything when you are with me. This is on them. As we walked away after I paid with card, I told her, remember, in life, you never take the first no. That was also strategic. It highlights, it thread expands that you are the type of man who is used to negotiate things your way, a high value trait. There are a few more steps that unfortunately cannot be shared here, but not long after we're laying and hugging in bed. That's where most guys think it ends, but that's where the top 0.1% seducers make the difference between a roll in the hay and true seduction. Laying in bed, I proposed to go for a drink, but after a few minutes, to understand this move, you need strong theory of mind. Think about it from her point of view. Many women wonder what's up in the relationship. They worry whether they move too fast, what you think of them, and they worry whether it's time for them to leave. This is bad. It's bad because this is the crucial time for pillow talk where you can both open up even more and where skin-to-skin contact releases oxytocin, then bonds you two together. This is where attachment is made. But if she's pensive and in her head, she cannot let go, and you both miss out on the attachment. So when you suggest a drink, you erase all her doubts, and when you add a bit later, you allow her to soak in the moment. This move alone 10x's romance and bonding. Use it with good intentions and you both win and the world wins. For the drink, we went to a nearby wine bar, also a strategic move. It's classic romantic vibe and a drink or two add to the experience. Result, before the night was over, she initiated making out with me and she asked, tentative and hopeful, if she could spend the night together. See how we've come the full circle, from her more attractive to her chasing and wanting more of you, all in one single date. This is good, effective seduction. And it didn't just happen by chance, of course. It's built on the foundations of power dynamics and on the strategies designed for maximum impact. Strategic thinking is the ultimate life cheat code. Master it and everything from business to dating to life. It doesn't just get 10 times easier, it gets 100 times easier. So how can you learn this? Strategic thinking is partially inborn. That's the truth. But as for most things, there is also much you can do to improve it. So it's also a skill. We built Power University as the only place in the world that truly teaches strategic thinking. Link below. And in this video, I show you 3 more real-life examples to help you do the same. Check it out. Ciao.